Good morning, and welcome back to the Doing It Live with Doomlink series. I say welcome back to the series because I'm doing multiple games within the series, I suppose, just in their own separate playlists, with their own separate part numbers for each game. It's not really welcome back for those of you watching Kingdoms of Amalur, however, because this is the first time that I'm doing It Live with Doomlink here in this game. This game, and my progress through this game hitherto, took place in an old format, which was just me sitting here doing live streams. It's almost the same, it's just I don't introduce it in the same way, and I don't split it up into smaller VODs from a larger live stream, and I also previously was not uploading the videos to YouTube with custom thumbnails and part numbers on the thumbnail. I've grandfathered in the old series, which was literally, I don't know, Kingdoms of Amalur livestream, and it is now part of the Doing It Live with Doomlink series. Those older parts now have the new thumbnail, etc. So that has all been brought up to standard, and here we are back in this game for the first time this year. It's only May. We've only just about gone through half of this year. Not quite, but we're getting there. It feels that way almost. And yeah, this is the first time I've played, and I look really ridiculous now that I look at myself. I've just got this... What do you call that again? Is it full phase? Is that the full phase? I'm thinking of, like, for example, with helmets, you've got helmets where the face is open, and then you've got a helmet that completely encloses your face, usually in the context of motorcycle riding. So is full phase the term that I would use to describe this? Either way, I look slightly silly. I guess the reason why it's silly is because this is not really the sort of build where I would look like a knight, or look like a soldier. But that's how I am dressed at this time. I really don't know what's happening here, except for the fact that I am in a location, and my current quest objective is to get out of this location. Hopefully I can manage to do that, but I really don't have clear recollections of what I was doing last time, and I hope that you can forgive me for that, especially considering how long it's been. If I check the map, no. M is not for map, who would have thought? Tab is for map, at least according to my key bindings. I seem to be on a higher level, so I would presume that if I were to go this way, I would eventually then reach my objective. Why I'm facing in this direction, I'm not completely sure. It looks like I've already come from here, doesn't it? Because of all of these dead enemies that I can loot, but seemingly choose not to loot. How do I run? There must be a faster way to move than this. I guess I can only roll, is that right? Yeah, that's how out of practice I am. I don't even know how to go about moving my character in one direction or another. Okay. Not sure why we're getting performance issues in Kingdoms of fucking Amalur. That is a question for the ages. Let us close the browser, because I do not have any tolerance whatsoever for poor performance at any point in a game like this. Oh. I have actually noticed, by the way, that my health is rather low. So I will keep an eye on that. How do I change weapons? There we go. I'm changing to something ranged because I am in danger. I would like to dispatch these enemies without healing. If it does, however, feel like that's a really stupid idea, I will change tack accordingly. Doing charge shots here. At least I remember how to do that. Oh. But yes, I think if I want to go in one direction particularly quickly, rolling really is the way to do it. Oh, mouse 1, yep, okay. I can literally only left click to get out of that. It doesn't feel very good. I feel like I should be able to mash more keys than that, but maybe it's for the better that I don't. I can also do non-charged shots, so it seems to be 28 if I don't charge it at all. Is that correct? Oh, I'm out of charge for my bow. I have to allow my arrows to recharge. Again, I'm not going to speak to my opinions on that. They should be quite well established. I guess just for a recap, I can tell people... Oh, no. Yeah, left shift allows me to run. Okay. I thought that I was doing that before, but maybe I'm just extremely foolish. and was not doing that. Well, so I don't really have a good reason to still be playing this version of the game. There is obviously Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, which is the remastered version, which is kind of... actually, that's not very clever at all. I was going to say, Re-Reckoning as in we're doing the game again, but it's also the remaster. Well, it's the same meaning of the RE, so it's really not that clever. But I'm not playing that version because I began this live stream series, previously just a regular live stream series rather than doing it live with Doomlink, before the remastered version came out. I could have just bit the bullet and decided to play up to where I had previously played and then resume in the remastered version, but to be honest with you, I don't see why this is in need of a remaster. But anyway, I think the performance really is on my side. I probably just should have done a restart of my computer before doing this. That always helps. But I did not do that. Am I bleeding? It looks like I'm losing health rapidly, so let us ameliorate that at once. Okay, so we don't want to go into items, we want to go into consumables. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Minor healing potion. You have to double click to consume, very nice. What was it? Surely that's not how it works. Is that really how it works? I double click it, back out, am not able to see the effect of it, and then when I actually completely return to the game, then it's suddenly in effect. Is that right? I can't really conceive of a more cumbersome setup. What is this thing doing? Okay, well, I won't gather this regent then. I really don't need it. I mean, if it were a quest objective, maybe I would, but I see no reason at this stage to even waste my time or my health. So yeah, I mean, you're not leaving me wanting. I can say that with complete confidence. Doing non-charged shots again, it seems to be a better choice because I can shoot very quickly. I guess the reason why I wouldn't do it is because I, at the end of the day, do have limited charge on my bow, so maybe it would be better for charging purposes to just do slow but strong charged shots. I'm just noticing that these enemies are hurting me more than previous ones, so I feel a little safer using a bow. Switch to the hammer just while my bow is charging here. Bow feels a little bit more deliberate, doesn't it? Even though there are no arrow consumables, and even though the targeting is largely automatic, I can just change targets by moving my mouse. But when the targeting, or rather when the reticle has found its target, it does that automatically. It still feels slightly more deliberate and methodical than other weapon types. I don't know why. Because it could be argued that when you're doing the different combos in the game, that's just as methodical, but maybe I'm just biased. We achieved something in this location, I really don't know why. Yeah, this was definitely on the 360. I think, well, I've got it on, I had it and continue to own it on PlayStation, but as in PlayStation 3, but yeah, Xbox 360 as well, I'm quite sure. What was I going to check? Do I have a history of things achieved in this quest? So, I have searched Castle Yolvan for a means to halt the spider attacks against Canneroc. Right, I remember Canneroc. However, all I've uncovered is that a summer fae witch, the widow, very good name, has been causing the attacks. I must escape from Castle Yolvan to spread this news. Alright, so I'll spread the news and then probably it will still fall to me to deal with it. So the way I see it is that there's no point informing them of who's behind it. I may as well just go and deal with it myself without telling anyone. That's the way I see it. Come on, giant spiner. No, not the venom spitter. I might actually save the game, seeing as though I have... Oh no, you're not allowed to save in combat. Very well. I was just thinking that if I got into a nasty situation where I did end up taking more damage than expected, thus causing my death, maybe it would be a good idea to save, but no, as we've established, it cannot be done whilst in combat, and I'm actually not really that opposed to it. Many games I've been playing recently do allow you to do that, but maybe that can be considered a difficulty factor in Kingdoms of Amalur. Something that requires consideration before engaging enemies in combat. Should I or should I not save at this moment? That is the thought. Yeah, get out of here. If you hadn't noticed, we did level up to level 7. And now we'll be able to do some upgrades. Okay, I'm getting a whole lot of poison glands. You're probably noting that I'm not taking any of them. There's something about monster materials with dubious value that just cause me to leave them. If they need, I suspect I would use them for potion making or some crap like that. I can't imagine needing it to forge stuff, not in a game like this. So, I was going to say against my better instincts I'm not taking it, but no, it is my instincts that lead me to not take them, so I'm going to continue doing that. I'm sorry to hear that you're getting addicted to gacha games again. That's, I mean, unless you're doing it free to play, then I needn't show my sympathy, but yeah. So presumably, if it's grayed out, we can't upgrade. Well, okay, if it is grayed out, well, no, I didn't actually intend to do that. Sorry, I'm raising my voice because I don't understand how this game works. So can I go back? Yes, I'm going to reset all of it because I clearly don't understand how this works. So on this screen, why do I have things that are light green and then pale green? What is the relevance of this? Are they trying to give me a little nudge to say, hey, this stuff is related to your build or something like that? Maybe. Like, for example, I'm surprised that despite this being grayed out, it allowed me to improve it. And then, apparently, this thing that already has a symbol in it, I can upgrade that as well. This screen, I'm sorry, is not intuitive. I'm entirely open to the possibility that I'm the problem here. I'm sure that maybe if I were just paying a little more attention, this screen would make more sense to me, but by my way of thinking, a screen like this shouldn't require deep consideration as to how to interact with it. It should be immediately clear what I'm upgrading, how I'm upgrading it, and how it's going to benefit me. But this is all... I mean, obviously it has descriptions, but the way I've got these different colors and then some tiles have no symbols in them, that shit doesn't make immediate sense to me. So I just... yeah, you could be right. You could be right in that you don't receive a benefit at level 2, but you do at level 3 for alchemy. That you could be right, and... However, it does still have a description for this. It says decreases difficulty when dispelling magical wards, and that is specific to this tile that has nothing in it, whereas if I mouse over dispelling, it gives me a general description of dispelling. Okay, let's try to make sense of this. I think I understand what it does now, but to explain it would almost be tiring, so I'm not going to do so. I don't really want stealth. I don't really like any of these. You can harvest components from some enemies in the world, increases the effectiveness of repair kits. I don't really understand what that means. From some enemies in the world. Let's do lockpicking then. Fine. Alright, 3 points available. Remember, we're not really doing sorcery anymore. For reasons I've mentioned. So might and finesse are the things we want to focus on, and from vague memory, I think we've been leaving finesse to lie fallow as we improved our might. In fact, we can see it in parentheses. We've got 8 points invested into might, whereas finesse is only at 6. I think generally we want finesse to be our primary skill, with might being our secondary, so I don't know if skill is the term that I want, but... Another good suggestion, Peaberry. Light green is active, whereas the normal one is passive. I really don't know. These are all, however, theories. I guess I'll take that to 5. Seems like level 6 is the maximum. Level 6 of 6, but you see this progress bar is... Why is the progress bar... Do you see that? Maybe that doesn't mean anything. I guess it's not a progress bar. It looks like the sort of bar that would extend all the way to the number 5 there, but it's not. I think it's just that weird indicator. Oh, it's plus and minus. Excuse me. It's not a progress bar. It's plus and minus. Okay. I guess it's a weird feature that they thought would be nice for the PC version. It doesn't really do anything for me. It just causes confusion. Apparently. Whether or not it should is up for debate, but it did cause confusion, and that's that. Alright, so this is a passive ability. Your Deadly Grace allows you to deal tremendous amounts of damage from stealth. Okay, so this obviously increases the damage boost from stealth attacks. In fact, it gives you new attacks as well. It doesn't just increase the critical damage. So, alright. Don't know about these special abilities here. I'm minded a little more to... Let's take that to max. We're taking that to max because we're using bow a lot. So, yeah, what I'm a little less inclined to do is to start upgrading something from nothing when we're not even using it at the moment. Apparently, Fey Blades are attached to daggers, or are they not? Maybe these are not actually connected at all. In fact, they're not, and I can see why. It's because it doesn't have this bar joining them together. So, Fey Blade, they sound more interesting than daggers, don't they? Well, let's continue with finesse. I'm going to have this whole upgrade be finesse focused, because as I said, I want it to be the primary over this one. So, with your incredible draw power, each arrow you fire can penetrate even the thickest armor or carapace. Also increases the size of your quiver. Well, this is important. So the next level does not, unfortunately, increase my maximum number of arrows. I've already received that benefit. But it does increase my piercing damage. So I guess for armored enemies, it deals more damage. So for example, I don't think those spiders would take more damage from increased piercing damage, but maybe other enemies would. Let's look at these abilities. I'm probably not going to use them, but... Well, what's this? Shadow Flare, weaving a burst of shadow magic to wound and stagger enemies in an arc before you. Is this the sort of thing that I can hotkey, or is this part of a combo? It seems to be an actual attack that I would hotkey and then perform. Using what, I don't know, maybe magic. Or it may not be connected to the magic system. No, it is connected. It costs 5 mana in order to perform the attack. Staggers targets 4 meters in front of you and deals 3 physical damage. Well, that could be useful. It goes to show that you don't actually need to be investing in sorcery in order to effectively have magic at your fingertips. Should I instead do this? I haven't really been using sneak attacks, have I? Do you know why? It's because it doesn't feel necessary. I don't feel like I require that edge over the enemies. So I'm going to leave that as is for now. Careful application of vile poisons to all your edged weapons and arrowheads. This looks better, actually. Excellent. I am going to upgrade this because this seems to add the possibility of poisoning enemies with every attack that you make with pretty much all weapons. It's not even specific to a weapon. So I'm definitely going to use this, or rather, invest a point in this. 15% chance per hit to deal 10 poison damage over 5 seconds. That's really, really good. As for there being a cost, oh no, this is not passive, this is active. See, I thought that was a passive upgrade. I got excited. active sustained. So when you activate it, it lasts for 5 seconds. Ugh. Yeah, hammer might not count. You're right. I'm glad you were keeping an eye on that. You would assume that if they're going to be that specific, then it probably would not include a hammer if they're saying edged weapons. This is active. Plant a frost trap, which causes ice and freezing damage to all nearby enemies when it explodes. A maximum of 4 traps can be placed at a time. This seems a lot more damaging than this, doesn't it? 3 physical damage at the cost of 5 mana versus this. 20 mana, presumably per trap. So 20 mana per trap for a total of 4 traps. And I don't know what my maximum mana is, but I probably don't have enough mana to place 4 traps. And yeah, what I'm seeing here though is 30 ice damage. How does 30 ice damage compare to 3 physical damage? Well, that's a huge difference in numbers, so this must be... I'm just going to make this, fuck it. Confirm. Now this thing, unlocked destinies. I probably will continue with this destiny. The reason why you can change this is basically something that you would expect to be part of character creation, but what they're doing here is giving you the flexibility to change depending on what you're doing in the game, which is kind of nice. It seems you can upgrade as well. See how this has a general requirement of 4 for all stats? Well, this actually, I think, could be better. Let's just look at the higher requirement destinies. So it seems we have some we haven't unlocked, which, look, I suppose I don't need to look at those ones. This seems like the best all-round, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to, particularly equip requirements reduced by 25%. Oh no, I was thinking that would relate to weight. Maybe there are other stat requirements. Let's just confirm that. I'm happy with Wayfarer, let's not overthink it. Quake, okay. Chain 3 casts of the spell together to create, or to deal more damage and stun your enemies, okay. That's not much of a strong attack. So that right click there should be... Well, actually, what is that? It seems number 3. I think the first 2, my first 2 hotkeys, which I thought I could change with that, but I can't. My first 2 seem to be spells. Moves? No. Abilities. So I'm going to move this to here. And can I remove this completely? Hello? Yeah, go away. I don't want to use magic. So I'll use this. This is apparently different. I'm going to waste some mana soon in order to demonstrate how this works. Or test it out, perhaps would be the word. Both can be true. I hate this double clicking. Trust me in my point and click accuracy. But indeed, the game does not trust me. It thinks I'm making a mistake and it needs the double click to be certain. Alright, take that. I'd just like to see how effective it is. 30 damage? What was that? That was almost nothing. I'm just going to pray that they don't take much damage to frost. Because that was a bit sad. Yes, alright. Well, I'm poisoned. I don't want your poison gland, and I don't want your poison gland. I hate that word. Gland. Ugh. It's just one of those words that I don't like. It's not always logical, but I feel like everyone's got a word they don't like. Or several. I've got a few. I'm not going to start listing them. Otherwise my lunch might come up. So this is our objective. It is to get out of here and inform the villagers of wherever that is. The place, Canneroc. It's actually on our screen. Jump down with that. Doomlink's least favourite word stream. Yeah, that would be a long stream, I think. Because I strongly dislike the words, they don't always come to mind immediately. But definitely gland is one of them. I do not like the word gland. It's almost offensively graphic in my mind. Use Shrine of Théoden. Awkwardly close to Théoden from Lord of the Rings. But I'm sure it is only a coincidence. Smouldering Staff, well, I'm probably not going to use staves or staves, because that is related to sorcery. Rigid Cuirass? No, I didn't mean to take the fucking staff. You did just make me take the staff, didn't you? I'm used to you needing me to double-click things in order to take them, but on this occasion, it was a single click. Go away. I mean, I suppose I can keep the staff and sell it, but anyway. So, comparing these two... Yeah, well, I don't really need more defense. I'm feeling quite okay with my armor right now. Even though I was commenting on how much damage those previous enemies were dealing to me, I didn't really feel in mortal peril. Sorry. I was not in mortal peril, so I'm going to keep with what I've got. I'm not quite in combat yet, so I will save. Of course, the hammer does flinch enemies in place, but if they hit you before you can hit them, it's not going to help as much as you would think. Apparently this guy is someone I want to speak to. We need help! Yeah, well, I feel like I've helped you with this several times. But that is the difficulty that they're having, is it not?
Now tell me, have you found their secret? Can you stop the spiders?
Would you like to be a little bit more grateful for my efforts? The widow, she's leading them.
The stories were true, but I've seen...
Just going to make sure I'm happy with the audio levels. I think they're fine.
But Cathrus is deep within the webwood. I wouldn't be surprised if the Hollow is where she makes her home. I had hoped for an army to assist Canneroc. You're all I have. Don't know if it's fate or luck, but there's no time. The others and I will take refuge in the inn. I need to help the survivors.
Yeah, well, again, I'm all you have, so don't make comments about how long it took. Alright, I think we've established that this location is not replete with resources or services. You know, I can't really go around and sell things. Maybe I can sell things, but... Let's just go in here. Maybe I'm misremembering, I think. There are places for me to go. What do you want? Billis.
I don't know which one would have let us out of this alive.
Skip.
All I know is I need to close up the window.
Repair. I don't know what I need to repair, but in case I do need to repair something, I will check it out. The Running Man boots. Speaking of shields, I haven't really been making use of them, have I? Scalding longsword. Well, I won't repair this because I'm quite happy with my hammer at the moment, and I may end up replacing this longsword by the time I would want to use it again. So I won't repair it.
Check the cellar and pray the spiders don't find the cracks in the shingling.
I think you were meant to be moving your mouth, but you were not.
Stay alert.
Stay alert. You're right. I don't know why the acoustics in this building are so terrible, but you should really do something about that. Alright, is there an inn for me to stay at and recover my health? I saw an abandoned house. Isn't there something going on in this abandoned house? Aren't there people gathering in here or something? I feel like that's where I was getting my quests. Or at least where I got this quest. I could be wrong. But I see a bed here. Far be it from me to think that I'd be able to sleep in a fucking bed, hey? What an absurd thought. I don't know why it crossed my mind. Do I have to spend money in order to recover health around here? Sorry, I've been playing lots of games, so... At this stage, I don't know what I can do in this game and what I can't. So for those of you who watch on with frustration, thinking that I should have learnt these things by now, well, sorry. It's been a while since I last played, and, as I say, it gets confusing as you play different games, as to what you can do in each one. Alright, so maybe in that forgery, that forge, maybe I can rest in a bed. The temptation to pick this fucking chest is almost excruciating, but... You're kidding me.
What are you bothering me for?
Don't worry, I won't be bothering you for much longer. For some reason, I can sleep in this. This rolled up bed. Not even the one that's laid out on hay. But in fact, the rolled up one I can sleep in. But fuck those really comfortable beds. How long will I sleep? I don't know. However long it takes for me to recover my health. I'm not even going to comment on what I just saw. And it is the fact that a fucking bedroll was something that I could sleep in, but not an actual bed. Why even take the time to distinguish between those two things? Just let me sleep in both of them, for goodness sake. Alright. So, next quest, I believe, is down this way. Go to Cathras. You know, you go to say Carthus because that's better, but no, you have to end up saying Cathras instead. Anyway. One thing that I am cognizant of is the fact that for as long as I am in this location, right? This location, all of my thumbnails are going to look the same. Which is not great. You know, just this same green color. But I will do my best to keep them as varied as I can. Well, you look kind of terrifying. Let me deal with the Venom Spitter first. Hopefully you don't just summon them infinitely. I can see that shit coming after me, and it homes in. That's no fun. Canneroc. Oh, you're much weaker than I thought. What was with the epic entry? Well, what I can see is that I'm dealing lots of damage, much more than the other enemies that I was fighting. Fighting? Jesus Christ. Fighting. That I was fighting. The place that I was in before, I don't think, did allow me to sell things, did it? I could sell all of these staffs right here. I would very much like to. But I'm not going to go back now. It's a bit late for that. Best route to get there, I suppose, up here and then down. Again, plenty of Regents about. I don't really feel like collecting them all. I'd be here all day. If I'm passing by... Oh, can't get very close to this tree. Must be a sacred tree. Liberal use of the save function is what keeps you from losing your mind. Yeah, any time that you can hit multiple enemies with one attack is something you should take advantage of. Loot giant spider. Oh, a poison gland, really? I am all agog. Hello there. What? I thought I was out to kill you. But instead we're here having a chat.
The bulk of my horde lies within, and I am eager that you might face it. But I am not
Am I missing something?
spiders, nor am I unreasonable.
Instead of seeking out the woman who I meant to kill, she's instead greeting me at the door and saying, "I'd like for you to kill the rest of my horde inside." I'll kill you first.
I had believed for a moment that you had some potential. Oh well. I lack the sympathy to kill you personally.
What?
I shall feed my guardian spiders after all. While they draw breath, none shall approach me. These wolves obey my
I have
orders.
already approached you. You approached me, is what I would be
Your way to me will be barred
tempted
by
to say.
root and fang.
Take that, you fucking... I don't think that has ever happened to me before. You know, you're seeking out the widow, you know, the objective, this woman who you are meant to kill. You enter the cave, and she's standing right in front of you, and just immediately starts ranting at you and talking. And then I'm just standing here thinking, why am I politely standing here and listening to what this woman has to say? And then she says words to the effect of, I have more spiders contained within this cave. You should go and fight them. Ha ha ha. And then, again, I just stand there and take it. And eventually I say, I'll kill you first. And she says, oh, I lack the sympathy to deal with you myself. I mean, fuck off, lady. I don't think I've ever seen something quite so bizarre. Oh, come on. Yeah, they've got a bit of a lunging attack that can be hard to deal with. Need to recharge my arrows. I will never get used to saying that. Never. Interestingly, the other spiders are hanging back. Indeed, to attack me at opportune moments. Adrenaline surge? I guess that's what happens when you're almost dead. Well, let's try to fix that. If I'm almost dead, that's a problem. See that? Don't you find it weird that you consume the potion within the menu, but you can't actually see what the potion does until you come back here? Maybe that's normal and I'm being unreasonable, but it feels cumbersome in a bad way. Alright, well there's a dead end up here, maybe I can get through here. I like to approach dead ends first. And if they are unavailing as a direction for me to go in, then I will proceed in the other direction. There's something really deceptive about the range of your great hammer. It feels like it can swing a little further than it actually does. Ugh. Of course, because it's such a slow attacking weapon, sometimes you really end up in a compromised position. Inventory, consumables. Let's just use my bow. Pick you off. There's another one spawning. Of course, oh, that's why my bow was doing more damage to that enemy from before. I'd forgotten that I had actually upgraded my bow. Remember, I fought that enemy that had the big epic introduction. Whoa. And the reason why I was doing so much more damage was because I had upgraded my bow, I think, 2 or 3 times. I think 2. I think it went from level 4 to level 6. Goodbye. So yeah, unsurprisingly, my bow is quite a bit stronger than my hammer right now. Let's compare... no. Stats, here we go. No. Where do I see might, sorcery, finesse? Where do I see these things? Abilities, yes. So, if I go to might, yeah, look, hammer mastery is only at 1. So that's why my bow is so much stronger. I definitely need to put some points into hammer next time. Alright, well, I'm going to consume a potion, because I'm not really comfortable with my current amount of health. I wonder if a minor regen potion is better. Oh, it increases your regeneration rate by a small amount. I didn't realize that we had passive health regeneration. I suppose that's a good thing. Are we going this way? Should save. Never be content only with auto saves. You'll get burnt pretty badly. As I say, dead ends first. There must be ways to get in here. Maybe if we produce fire magic of some kind, we can get through. I don't think I've got any, though. No. Unless that produces fire damage? No. It looks like it could be fiery, but it's not. It's just physical damage, so... Fire magic can probably get through that, but too bad. No Regans found. That looked very much like that large plant that the other large plant was defending. Do you remember that? That man-eating creature? Oh, fuck off. Yes, alright. I'll go and start bow shooting. The targeting is really not as good as you'd think it would be. There are some issues with it. Ugh, have to wait for my arrows to recharge. Come on. Maybe the logic is that it's a magical bow, or a magical quiver. I do realize that I have my special mode where I turn all purple. But I may as well save it for when I actually need it. I wouldn't want to be in a position where I really needed it and I'd used it just for fun in some other situation. I think you hold left and right mouse button in order to do it. Actually, I would like to kill the weaker one first. Or the one with less health. I'll probably find a moment to end this VOD in just a moment. Find an ending point. Not for the live stream, of course, just for the VOD. Depends how long it takes for me to get through here. Maybe just before we fight the boss would be good. Or maybe I'll just end it here and then proceed to the boss. That could be good. Thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next part of Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. I feel very much out of sorts because I barely know what I'm doing in this game, but really, there's not too much to know from what I can tell. I could be wrong, though. I will see you in the next part, and hope you enjoyed this one. Goodbye for now.